And I'm ready. Look out for yourself. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer Glatzhofer, but you can call me Jen. I am a musical theatre performer and a voice teacher. Today I will be returning to Peter Barber, this time with Enemy. This looks amazing from the trailer, so I'm very excited to see the full thing. As always, this will be a reaction and an analysis video, so we'll be stopping and talking about the vocals, so do be prepared for that. If I end up pausing a little bit too much for you, I won't be changing what I'm doing over here. That's the kind of content that we will be creating over here. So if you just want to watch the full video without any pausing and just enjoy it from start to finish, then I have left the link to the original video in the description below, so do go and check that out. Which I suggest you do anyway. I probably would suggest go watching it first, then coming to watch this, because I can understand that probably is annoying with me pausing, so that's just my suggestion. If you do enjoy what I'm doing over here, then please do consider checking me out over on Patreon as well. Lots of fun behind-the-scene clips, extra footage, extra. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell button over here and go over and support on Peter as well. He's just recently hit 60k as well. When I say recently, it's probably been a few weeks now, but go over and support. So without further ado, let's get to the main part of the video.
The sounds of the silence that allow for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn they hate us.
I don't think I'm ready. 43 seconds in, and I need to watch all of that again. Okay, first of all, I'm aware that Peter Barber loves a bit of dubstep. That's all I'm going to comment on that, because my knowledge of dubstep's not very but it's very, very cool. So I love how it's he's changed it already to something that means you know, it's showing more of his kind of flavor in it, like what he likes. He is adapting it to what his influences are and his likes and music choices are, which is really, really nice, because we're just getting a different taste, not something that we've heard before. Well, not something that I've heard before. Visually, my goodness, there's lots of like, I know I'm just going back to the sound now, but it's like kind of happening, and it goes with these kind of silhouettes that we're getting, these flashes, images flashing like at the beginning. So cool, like, oh wow. Then phrasing wise that we're getting with the lyrics and the melody, it's very broken and staccato, like it's not flowing. It's kind of, again, going with what we're seeing visually, like with the swapping of the images, and it's going and it's very like, it's like he's kind of holding his breath almost. He's not, but it's kind of that like urgent, sudden stop staccato feel to the singing, which is cool. Or even, it's very spoken like, so yeah. And then we get this dark operatic feel. Like I said, so much. Let's go. That little rustle. So cool.
I wake up to the sounds of the silence that allow for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching
with my ear up to the ground, like it's, everything's very tight and it's like stops, like it's, we're not letting it linger, like it's cutting off. I was holding my breath. Ear up to the ground, so it's rhythmically, it's very staccato. We're kind of coming off of those notes very suddenly. But yeah, I love the build up that we have with that kind of intro dubsteppy kind of section. Then we get and like it kind of draws you in and it goes straight into the vocals. Really cool. How many layers.
I wake up to the sounds of the silence that allow for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told. With my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn, they hate us.
Cool, so it's quite nice that we're having a contrast of vocal qualities on that line. Da, da, da. That's the melody, I think, isn't it? And know me, you're the greatest. Da. Like, that's quite, we're getting more of a legato feel here on both lines, but it's not as dark and classical and round sounded like we are getting with
The greatest, but once you turn.
no, no, like there's so much kind of that sob quality happening. We're darkening that kind of sound. The vocal tract is a little bit darker and longer. So yeah, it's kind of like a contrast, not only how we are going musically kind of opposite from each other, but also like the vocal quality of both lines, which is very cool.
The stories that I told.
Also visually,
the world that was smiling
we get more moves like we're getting
but once you
more of a moving body.
they hate us. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Oh, yeah, the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy.
This is so cool.
But I'm ready.
Oh, and I'm ready. This must have been such a cool project to kind of do, but then also watch when you first get like the first draft, the first edit back or whatever, and just be like, whoa, this is what we were doing. Oh, it's so cool. So we've entered a little bit more of a higher pitch now. Oh, that first O, that E, and the top part of his chest voice here, or his thicker folds before we start going into the first passage and things start changing. We get a lovely B, which is very head dominant, but still very connected. So in his mix voice, which is really, really nice, you can tell there's a difference of quality between oh, B, and obviously we're on an E vowel as well, which kind of favors that softer sound. And obviously, if we're looking back at the original, we do get that anybody wants to be, like it kind of it softens up a little bit. But that's a tricky area because it's literally that whole phrase is on his first passage, so he has to make sure that, you know, so that we're not getting a unexpected break or a sudden flip of the voice. We need to make sure that we're connected and supported from underneath, which it's wonderful.
But once you turn, they hate us. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Oh, yeah, the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy.
My enemy. We're kind of opening that. Did you see that drop? We're getting two vocals on that, and one of them is staying very kind of classical operatic rounded sound as well. So again, we're getting a contrast there. But anyway, let's
Sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy.
my enemy. Again, this is recorded and then he's obviously filming it on top. But we're getting a enemy, a drop. The tongue is forward. Enemy, me. It's a bit more open and forward just to kind of ensure. It's on a D. I think it's just to ensure that we're still staying a bit open and not squeezed. Enemy, and it gets a little bit bright and maybe too musical theatre-esque, and, you know, enemy. It's keeping the element of, I don't want to say laziness because it makes it feel like it's just being lazy, but like relax. We're not squeezing or anything.
Sympathy. Everybody wants to be
It's different.
my enemy.
And there's like a
But I'm ready. Your words up on the wall as you're praying for my phone. And the laughter in the halls and the names that I've been called. I stack it in my mind and I'm waiting for the time when I show you what it's like to be wordsmith in a mic.
This is like a 101 lesson with Jen. Let's get our mix. Actually, yeah.
I'm gonna show you what it's like to be wordsmith in a mic.
Up. Okay, so there we had a completely different feel. Oh, this is interesting. We had a completely different feel here to what we had earlier. I don't think maybe we were on an F sharp earlier, but we did obviously the sympathy everybody wants to be. We had that little section which was very much in his chest voice, right? Da 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 da. Then we swapped here. Here, Peter's set himself up because he obviously knows what he's going to do for that phrase, but da.
And the laughter and the holes and the names that I've been called. I stack it in my mind and I'm waiting for the time when I show you what it's like to be wordsmith in a mic.
But the words, what are the words? Not that. But the words, but you can hear here on that F sharp, in order to continue and keep a consistent feel and sound on that phrase, da 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 da, that he wants that lovely kind of unspoken like, which again goes up to that B, which B4, which is the same as the everybody wants to be, which was in that quality. But now he's keeping this whole phrase, which is in his first passage, going into his second. He is keeping so well supported. He is in a balanced mixed voice here because he is playing around with the balances of chest and head voice together and keeping that very, very spoken. Like there's heaps of like that whine. You can hear that. There's a lot of like cry in his voice. Obviously then toned down to make sound nice and not just but it's so well connected, that little section. I mean, it all is, but I need to watch that into the next part, I know. But I liked how we had this kind of breathy, higher voice here as well. Like up there, making it very floaty and just kind of eerie. And then with that kind of diminuendo as well, volume kind of going down, which is just like, where are we going? Dude, this is 1 minute 23 seconds in and there's a lot. This is definitely a video you have to go back and watch because it's just a lot. I love it. The greatest. Nice. I think this happens in the original as well, but I've just noticed greatest because we want to sing on that open vowel, right? Oh, not all the time. Sometimes, depending, we want to keep the N closed. But for what Peter's after here, da da, that we're staying on that, and especially with that dark vowel setting of that operatic kind of descending line there as well. Just a bit easier if we keep that open. Greatest. But up on that B again. B4, but we're keeping very head dominant here, right? A1, head voice dominant here. The ones, do, do, which, and then he brings that down. Yeah, that floaty kind of feel.
Everybody wants to be my enemy. Ever sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy.
Oh, we get it. Yes. Is that up at F sharp 5? Is that vocals too? We're coming very quite clear up there on this R vowel, so that's really nice. What? That's what I wanted to say. Everybody wants to be. So it's in his head voice up there, right? On that B4, but also B word. But notice how he's not B and squeezing up there, because as soon as he kind of spreads, especially on E vowel as we're going higher, I know he's wanting a head voice, a softer sound anyway. He's going straight into his thin fold. We're not, if we were talking about the mixed balance, it's very head voice dominant. So maybe like 90% a little bit of that twang to help him keep him supported, and that's what I'm going to go about to go into now. Notice how it's not going bee. He's dropping that jaw a little bit. Bee. He's keeping it a bit more of an ear vowel almost, but it's very true to an E, as close as he can get for the quality that he's after, which is just really nice. It just keeps it a lot more stable. It's a lot more secure in his voice.
Sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Okay, I'm hoping that somebody pray for me. I'm praying that somebody hope for me. I'm staying where nobody supposed to be, but posted, being a wreck of emotions. Ready to go whenever, just let me know. The road is long, so put the pedal into the flow. The enemy emoji, I'm energy unavailable. I'ma tell them hasta luego. There when I'm not, I'ma try to my top. I'm another shape, thinking of the box. I'm an astronaut. I'm blasted off the plane to rock the cause catastrophe. And it matters more, cause I hadn't not had a thought about Regan. Never caught an opposition, kinda shocking. They want a statical position. I'm automatic quarterback. I ain't talking second, pack it up. I don't panic, better, put it better, so don't matter, cause we ain't just everybody wants to be my enemy.
What can he not do? Not that we shouldn't, not that I'm looking for something that he can't do, because we should be celebrating what one does do. And clearly, there's a lot going on. So this little rap section, very, very spoken, like, it's talking rhythmically. There was lovely little rhythm changes as well. I'm not fully aware of the original with this section, because I know other versions that we've seen have kind of skipped this part. But I love that Peter's done it, and he does it so well. Right, well, let's see where we can go.
No, the road is long, so the pedal nobody posted.
Right, it's like full-on tongue twisters, and it's just the breath support from underneath to make sure that where are we breathing, but just the flow of everything.
Okay, I'm hoping that somebody pray for me. I'm praying that somebody hope for me. I'm staying where nobody supposed to be, but posted, being a wreck of emotion. So
there's lots of really odd places to stop talking and then kind of get and then we get this plosive on a p. It's just so incredibly fast.
For me, I'm praying that somebody hope for me. I'm staying where nobody supposed to be, but posted, being a wreck of emotions. Ready to go whenever, just let me know. The road is long, so put the pedal into the flow. The enemy emoji, I'm energy unavailable. I'ma tell them hasta luego. There when I'm not, I'ma try to the top. I'm another shape, thinking of the box. I'm an astronaut. I'm blasted off the plane to rock the cause catastrophe. And it matters more, cause I hadn't not had a thought about Regan. Never caught an opposition, kinda shocking.
That when it changes that triplet almost section, where is it going? There's a second voice that comes in, or if there's three.
Somebody hope for me. I'm staying where nobody supposed to be, but posted, being a wreck of
no, there's already other voices here.
Let me know the road is long, so put the pedal into the flow. The enemy emoji, I'm energy unavailable. I'ma tell them hasta luego. There when I'm not, I'ma try to the top.
So we do get some kind of, rather than just speaking layers, we're now getting a descending, falling, happening, which is the same as the tell me you're the greatest, which is cool.
The enemy emoji, I'm energy unavailable. I'ma tell them hasta luego. There when I'm not, I'ma try to the top. I'm another shape, thinking of the box. I'm an astronaut. I'm blasted off the plane to rock the cause catastrophe. And it matters more, cause I hadn't not had a thought about Regan. Never caught an opposition, kinda shocking. They want a statical position. I'm automatic quarterback. I ain't talking second, pack it up. I don't panic, better, put it better, so don't matter, cause we ain't just everybody wants to be my enemy. Oh, the sympathy. Everyone wants to be my enemy. Oh, the misery. Everyone wants to be my enemy. Oh, the sympathy. Everyone wants to be my enemy.
Oh, up on that F sharp again. It's kind of really lovely contrasting, because we get this spoken section, right? This kind of rap section. And even the whole kind of entire song is kind of feels very spoken anyway, until we get to the tell me all, that we kind of slow down. Otherwise everything's everybody wants to be my enemy, everything's quite spoken there. But yeah, we get this lovely floaty contrast on this R vowel up on F sharp 5 up there on that little section, which is just so, would it be juxtaposition of what we're hearing, kind of lead vocals? It's really nice. Yeah, I love how we hear it up there and then it just kind of gets that drop. Bye. Whew. Let's just go back to the very ending. My enemy, I'll never be the same. My enemy, I'll never be the same. My enemy, my enemy. It's just that low one on the my enemy. I'll never be the same. I love that. Look after you. Look out. Like, is that in the original? I don't know. Wow. So good. What an incredible video. Like, visually, that was huge. But just also, like I said, there was lots of kind of like juxtaposition kind of happening vocally. Like, just opposites. We had a lovely, that floaty, which wasn't too close in, like, you know, it wasn't in the forefront of our hearing. It's kind of just right at the back, which was really, really lovely. And then vocally, with the lead vocals, we kind of had throughout the entire song, in most sections, that kind of darker operatic sound, which obviously we know Peter Barber is a professional opera singer, so it's lovely that we're hearing that, mixing with dubstep as well, that kind of vibe, which is just crazy. You know, there are no rules. Mix things around, see what works, and I love the result. It's wonderful. Thank you very much for watching this reaction and analysis video. If you did enjoy it, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, the bell button, and the thumbs up button. Go over and check me out on Patreon as well, and do make sure you go over and support Peter as well, his channel. Go and hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet to him, and I will see you very soon for another video.